Hey everyone, happy Friday and welcome to more chatting in my jungle room. Hey, heading over to chat with a really cool guy from a really cool band. The band is called Boy and Bear. The guy is called Killian. Hey Killian, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to be here. Nice to
Ah,
chat.
nice to chat to you. I have been following your career, your music for a very good long time now, and it's such a joy to finally be able to chat to you about it. Um, First of all, I mean, you all are really busy. There's a lot going on. There's a massive show about to kick off that we're going to talk about, but excitedly, you have just released double A-side music. Where Does Life Begin and Vertigo. Amazing songs, amazing.
Thank you.
So, how has it all been received so far, those two songs?
It's been really good, to be honest. It's always so nerve-wracking when it gets to release time and you got some new music and you just don't know how it's going to be received. And I don't know, the response so far has been great, which has been really nice to see. And there's a lot of excitement, I guess, sort of building around what's next and the album coming out. And yeah, it feels good so far.
So, when are you planning on the album getting released? Are we allowed to talk about that?
Oh, I don't know. I'll talk about it anyway, but I don't know. It'll be later this year.
Awesome. Something ready for Christmas.
Yes, yeah.
I love it. And so is the album wrapped up or are you still working on it?
It's finished. Like always, we find we'll do a record and then we sit on it for 6 to 10 months when
Yeah.
it's finished before it actually gets released, which is really weird because then it finally gets out there. People are hearing it for the first time, but for us, it's like some of these songs are 3 years old, you know? We've been living with them for a long time.
Yeah, you've already
But
moved on and doing the next lot of work.
we've literally, I shouldn't even say that. We've probably got the next record almost written and finished, you know? We haven't even released this one.
I love it. I love it. I love your 3-year plan.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hey, so obviously, if the album's going to come out in a good, another bunch of months away, is there going to be another tease for us? Are you going to release any more singles before the actual full album comes out?
Yeah, definitely. There'll be at least one, probably two more that will come out, um, probably sooner than we realize, without
Okay.
giving too much away.
Yep. This is good.
Yeah,
You're good.
yeah. And then, because we have the Opera House show at the end of the year, so we'll have a lot of music out prior to that show.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Actually, no, before we talk about the Opera House, let's talk about the album. So, do you find the direction you went in with this album, and obviously the first two singles that we've heard, has the direction changed slightly to what you've previously done, or are you staying true to, the origins of the music?
I feel like every record, you sort of start with this blank canvas. Actually, I usually use the analogy of sailing a ship, that we just start sailing and we follow the wind and we don't really know where we're going to end up. And so we're writing these songs and they're taking, left turns and right turns. And after we got a bunch of ideas, this starts to find a bit of a through line about, what does the sentiment of the record perhaps feel? What are the songs? How are they relating to each other? And it takes probably until we get 10, 12, 13, 14 songs that we sort of go, I reckon the album's going to exist in this kind of territory. And this record, it felt like there was a sense of positivity, and that's probably the best word to use compared to previous records. I think we're all suckers for melancholy and sitting in the corner with headphones on and just going, "Oh wow!" But this record seems to have this uplifting kind of sentiment, which has been really cool. It's been refreshing for us, and it's been nice to sort of, I don't know, explore how we do what we feel like is Boy and Bear, if I can call it that,
Yep.
but present it in a way that feels a little bit more positive and a little bit more uplifting.
And Killian, let's be honest, the world is totally bonkers right now in many ways. Do we need a little bit more positivity in the world and kindness?
It can't go astray. It really can't
Holy
go astray.
moly.
Uh,
Okay.
I've
Tell
been
us
just switching off to the news. I feel like I'm going to live in a rock for the next few months, or under a rock, sorry, because
Oh,
it's just sadness, you know?
Killian, I totally hear you. I'm off to Bali in a week and a half, and I can't wait to escape it all. Though that said, the news from Bali with all the floodings
I
yesterday,
know,
it's just been crazy all over the world. So, you know what?
I know.
Our own escape is in our heart, right?
That's all we can do. I think everyone's entitled to escape for a while and switch off, get away, leave your phone behind, and be like, I'm just going to play dumb for the next few weeks and just enjoy being, you know?
And listen to Boy and Bear's music.
100%. Make sure you
You know,
save that.
there's a plug. There's a plug. Hey, so let's move on then to the Sydney Opera House, the Forecourt show on December the 14th.
Yeah.
And you've got special guests, Hollow Caves and Darcie Haven as well. What can we expect from that show?
We sort of thought about this show a lot when it came to like deciding to actually go ahead with it because taking on the forecourt is not something you always get an opportunity to do. And there's a lot that goes into it. So we started trying to think about how do we, like, we've enjoyed doing a lot of touring lately. We're getting support acts who are very different from us. It's been really fun to do that.
Yeah.
We did a few tours with Boo Seeker and we've ended up doing a lot of music together out of it, which has been really cool. And we enjoy that side of meeting people in different worlds when we're on the road. But this one, we really love Hollow Coves and it felt like it'd be kind of cool to have more of a cohesive night. So we definitely were like looking for, bands that and artists that do have some sort of similarity to what we do so that people can come and just enjoy a good night of music that sort of feels like a seamless transition from one to the next. So that was the genesis around looking into those guys for sure.
And what an amazing achievement to be able to play that space. Because, I mean, so many big names, big bands have played that space. It's just an iconic arena for music, isn't it?
100%. I mean, we won't miss the moment, that's for sure. I think we'll be on our faces when we're up there on stage going, okay, this is pretty cool. This is one to remember.
Killian, that's one of those times where you don't leave your phone at home because it all needs to be captured.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Hey, let's go back to the beginning, 2009 when you all formed. Obviously, 2011, the first album came out, which was, you would know, Moonfire, which
Yeah.
got received really well and entered the ARIA charts extremely positively. How do you think you have changed as a band from the early days, 2009 forming, up until 2025?
I think there's always a real beautiful part to artists at the start of their career because you're you have very little experience and you're operating somewhat naively. And that I've always been a big believer is intrinsically tied to your idiosyncratic approach to how you write music. So you get people that break through in perhaps a similar way to what we did, who are writing songs for the first time or for the 10th time, but really it's their first big project they're undertaking, and they don't have the experience yet to understand how to make songs perhaps work in a way that feels really good and you get different results because of that. And I'm such a believer why so many artists that come through that sometimes their first and second record, even their third, can be incredible and some of their best work sometimes as well because it's so idiosyncratic and it's such a beautiful part of music and creating art is doing something that feels true to you because you know no other way of doing it. So I think that's been a big part at least for us, what I still look back and love about those early records. Now, with more experience, we actually are doing this weird thing where we are looking back and you've learnt all these different ways of writing songs and taking people on a journey with you. And we're actually going, well, how do we still remain somewhat naive? How do we just go, what feels good and just sort of forget about how you could arrange things like this and that would be perhaps more seamless, but actually taking time to just go, no, let's just enjoy this moment. Let that verse hang and let it carry on longer than it probably should because it just feels right. So I think it's you had no choice but to be naive with your songwriting in the early days, but I think these days it's a choice to remain naive.
And with all the changes that are going on, in the world, technology wise, the way we consume music as an audience, all of that, and the way that income works as well these days, which is making it like really crazy nuts. But what do you think personally for the band has been one of the biggest challenges over the course of the a few decades that you've been doing this now?
Yeah, look, it is. it has changed a lot, and it's hard to articulate what the biggest challenge might be for people who are fans of music. But from my perspective, looking out, it's the lack of consuming records as a whole, which
Yeah.
is the nature of streaming. It's the nature of playlisting. It's how things have moved for so long. There's still a lot of people out there, don't get me wrong, who will reach out to us and talk about the entire record and talk about a certain song that's track 11 on the album that's their most favorite, which
Yeah.
is awesome to see because that's how I grew up. That's how a lot of us in the band definitely grew up with, um, listening to records, listening to albums, and going on that journey. And I'm still like that. If I go on the plane, I don't have playlists. I save records and I put them on. I listen to them start to finish and go on that journey, which is a lot of fun. So whilst that's changed, I think there's still a lot of people out there that understand that that in itself is the art. And there's a lot of people that will consume it that way. And it's totally fair that there's a lot of people that won't, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, there's things we can control and things we can't control. But I'm definitely one of those people. If I am putting on one of my vinyls on the turntable, I always have to make sure that side A is on first. Otherwise
That's so
people
true.
ask about for me.
I kind of miss like in the car you had on your visor, you flip it down and you'd have like 10 CDs in the slot. You'd take one out and you'd put it in and you'd keep on driving and that's what you listen to.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
I love it. I love it. And you know what? Of course, it depends on our moods at the time as well. But
yeah,
hey, let's speak about that though for a minute, because I find this really intriguing because I'm very much old school in the way that I like to listen to my music. And
yep.
it's the start and then the big end. But when you're collating the songs that are going to go onto the album, do you find it an easy process to work out the order of how they're going to lay?
Not really, to be honest. I think we all have pretty strong opinions in the band about how it should. There's some overlapping for sure. Like there's often a large chunk of the record that we all see the same, but it's usually the bookends that are really up for grabs. Like people go, no, it should start here and it should end with this song. And those two songs particularly are really hard to agree on. This record, ironically, was probably the first record where we all were really, really similar with how we thought it should flow. But every other record up until now, there's been fists thrown, we've been really at it going, nah, man, it's got to start, it's got to end with this, it's got to start with that. It's such a great journey. And someone else has gone, nah, it's like this. But it's part of the fun. We eventually get there.
You all make up.
Yeah, yeah, we still like each other. Yeah.
It's like a family. I
100%.
I love you, just don't like you at the moment.
100%. Yeah. And that's fair.
Hey, 16 years of Boy and Bear. There's been so much incredible success. Like I said, ARIA entries and, incredible fan base, is racked up. Incredible gigs, all of that, and Sydney Opera House Forecourt. What would be one of your personal favorite achievements for the band so far?
To be honest, it's the first thing you said. It's 16 years. That's far and away the biggest thing that we are protecting as a band. We work really hard at our relationships. We work really hard at how we like just enjoy what we get to do together.
Yep.
And that's, I think, the whole thing that's given us the longevity. Like the songwriting is the funnest part of what we do, but the thing to be most proud of is the fact that we're still doing it 16 years later. And there's just as much hunger now as there was at the start between the five of us to keep doing it for the future.
Yeah, brilliant. Um, and wrapping up, I mean, obviously, once the album's out, once we've got through Christmas, you've done your Sydney Opera House Forecourt show. Is there talk possibly of a 2026 Australian tour?
There will be for sure. I can't give away details yet, but there will
Oh, I
be.
tried to get it out of you. I tried.
I slipped up before, but this time I won't.
I'm holding tight. All right. Well, you know what? That's good enough for me. As long as there's something on the horizon, I'm an excited guy. And just make sure Adelaide is on the schedule, please.
I guarantee it will be.
Awesome. Killian, what an absolute joy and all the best for the upcoming album. I'm looking forward to the next couple of singles that could be released very soon. And have a terrific Sydney Opera House Forecourt show. And I look forward to chatting again.
Yeah, appreciate it, Marcus. Thanks so much for having me.
See you, buddy.
See ya.